Modern cars are supposed to keep us safer than ever, yet thousands of cyclists and pedestrians are still killed every year in preventable crashes. Some say the solution is mandating high-tech safety equipment in all cars.
But is the technology ready, or is the industry stalling? Senior investigator Lisa Fletcher sits down with one family whose tragedy is inspiring new calls for action.
Magnus White going top step here.
He was 17, a star athlete, a kid with a 4.2 GPA, racing for USA Cycling and on the verge of signing with a pro team. But to his parents, Jill and Michael, Magnus White was the center of their world.
And so I was like, oh, he's got this. Like, he knows how to ride on the road. Like, he's okay. So it was like furthest really from our mind that he could have been hit and then killed. Because, you know, like, he always came home.
Until the day he didn't. Magnus was struck from behind in Colorado in 2023 by a driver who fell asleep at the wheel.
If any of the currently available safety systems for drivers, if that car had been equipped with any of those, yes, Magnus would be alive. Lane assist, automatic emergency braking. It would have seen what the driver did not.
Now, his parents have turned their grief into action, pushing a federal bill in Magnus's name to expand automatic emergency braking so cars don't just recognize other vehicles, but people on foot, on bikes, on motorcycles. 15,000 of them died on our roads last year. Still, as we've reported for years, AEBs can struggle in the conditions that matter most. Darkness, bad weather, or complex real-world environments, says former senior advisor for safety at NHTSA, Missy Cummings.
Bicyclists can be obscured. They can pop out at the last second. And systems, they have to go through some algorithms to do detection and classification, and then sometimes that takes too long, then that thing will be hit.
Same problem with pedestrians?
Absolutely the same problem with pedestrians. It is more difficult for them to pick up pedestrians.
She says the shortcomings are real, but so is the cost of inaction.
I think that even imperfect AEB systems are better than nothing.
But here's the disconnect. Automakers are selling a future where cars can drive themselves, navigate city streets, read traffic, and make decisions. Yet, when it comes to a car simply recognizing a person in its path, the industry has argued the technology isn't ready. For the Whites, that doesn't add up.
Given that we have all of this technology on the road right now, we have self-driving cars, we have Waymos, we have very advanced trucks. Is that still a valid argument to say we're not ready to roll out automatic braking technology that is capable of seeing pedestrians and cyclists?
The phone you have right now is the worst phone you're ever going to have. The technology is going to get better and better and better, and it's going to get better exponentially. So there's no reason to not implement it now when we know it's going to keep getting better.
For the Whites, the debate may be technical, but their reason for being here isn't.
We do it because we love Magnus. I mean, it was just so heartbreaking. We saw the whole community around us heartbroken, his friends heartbroken. And so we were like, if this can happen to Magnus, it can happen to anyone.
One important note here with the experts we're talking to about this technology, there's a really key point they all make. Automatic emergency braking is not a substitute for paying attention and should never be relied on. Still, many believe that the technology will unequivocally, Scott, save lives.
Well, the big question then is what kind of pushback is a bill like this receiving? Are there people against it?
Well, the debate isn't so much if cyclists should be protected, it's how fast automakers should be required to add the technology. Concerns about cost, liability, and federal mandates are where much of the resistance tends to surface. So the underlying question really becomes, if the technology exists, how long should Americans wait for it to become standard?
Yeah, well, and if you're saying that this is such an obvious answer, you would think that people could get on board, but
yeah.
You're talking about changing industry standards, right? What happened when it comes to the next step here?
The person who hit Magnus. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was convicted of vehicular homicide. She was sentenced to 4 years in state prison.
Wow. I mean, tragic, obviously, but glad to see that there's some sort of progress moving forward and trying to prevent more of these from happening.
Yeah, and as you saw, the mom and dad are incredibly vocal and spending a lot of time on the Hill trying to push this forward.
Yeah, good for them. All right, well, thank you, Lisa. And to see all of Lisa's reporting on advanced driver assistance systems and to be linked to a page where you can directly contact your lawmaker on this issue, just go to WJLA.com.